Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. I'm your host, Jim, and with me, as usual, is Mike. Also joining us today is not Steve. Yes.
That is correct. I am not Steve.
Awesome. So, since not Steve hasn't been here in a while, the way we run the war rooms is we have a bunch of headlines that were pulled from actual media sources, and we get to discuss them. Now, we don't have to know a damn thing about them. You just share your opinion or make up a story. Doesn't make a difference. So, thanks, Mike, for providing the headlines.
Yeah, right.
And let's get started.
Hey, is everybody frozen?
No, are you frozen?
Everybody's frozen on my screen.
Oh, how
Let
do you
it
hear
There
me?
you go.
go. Let it go.
Yeah, you can't not sing that song when you hear that.
No, I
Yeah,
can't. I look.
I'm
I
not
have.
frozen.
I have daughters of that generation. So
Yeah, yeah, I don't know how you can not sing it anyway. Alrighty, are we ready now, Mike, or is there any more concerns or issues?
Oh, I'm ready.
technical difficulties.
All right, so first headline: Biden admin quiet as dozens of American school children still remain trapped in Afghanistan.
Wait. Why are there American school children in Afghanistan to begin with?
Yeah, that would be my question. What
I
school is
mean,
that? I don't believe it.
the
I don't believe that one. Mm.
is that like the Kabul STEM Academy or
Yeah, that's God. I can't even comment on that one. That's
I
that.
mean
No, I don't. I
what
don't believe that one.
what what is the source on this?
It
That's
doesn't
irrelevant.
matter.
Well,
Yeah.
let's be real, Mike. I mean, I could believe it's true, but it's probably one
Why doesn't
dual
that surprise
citizen
me?
Afghan kid who's homeschooled.
Um yeah.
Probably. But yeah, I need to see more on that one. I don't believe that one.
I mean, it says dozens, right? Dozens meaning what? 2 dozen? Or
Yeah,
does that mean
or
like
more.
14?
More than
I
one
mean,
dozen.
Right. So that's at least 24 kids are trapped in Afghanistan. What do they mean by trapped?
Meaning we're done getting people out. That
Ah,
mission is over, and
well,
they're
I
on their
mean,
own. You
what do you
know,
mean we're done getting people out? I mean, like, you know, can they not just pick, like bend at the knee and put the other foot in front of the other foot and,
yeah, it ain't like you can
just,
walk to the Kabul International Airport and get on Delta.
well, I get that, but I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, you can walk to somewhere else, right? I mean, you know, uh, Jesus went all over the place and he didn't hop on Delta. I'm just saying there are ways to get places.
yeah. And you see what happened to
Uh,
him, right?
I was just gonna let
fair,
him finish.
fair.
I was just gonna let
Um,
him finish.
but I
Yeah,
mean, that was Jewish people that did that. That wasn't Muslims.
yeah, but
Do we even know these American school
yeah.
children? Or
How deep you want to go with this one?
I mean,
all right, let's move on to the next one. Real simple headline. All right, the next one. Man gets 2 years in plea deal instead of 5 year minimum for setting fire to police building in 2020 Chaz Chop protest.
Wow. What do you think about that, there, not Steve?
uh, well, I mean, I think regardless of the building, right? Whether it was a police building or like the county garage, right? I mean, that's taxpayer money, and he just burnt down a government building. Uh, Now, do I feel like we should waste any more of the taxpayers' money by giving the guy room and board and 3 meals a day and medical care for the next 5 years? No, but I don't think he needs to get off scot free either. So I'm kind of torn between uh I don't know. I feel like 2 years is probably insufficient. But like I said, I don't see any reason why he needs to be a further drain when the taxpayers are already going to have to pay to, um, rebuild their police department. Unless they want to go the way of Minneapolis and just completely defund them altogether, then they don't have to pay to fix it.
True. My take on this is I agree with you. For one, it's 2 years. It's a plea deal. That means the prosecution, the DA agreed to this for whatever reason, and that's the way our system is orchestrated, if you will. And it worked. It says it set fire. It doesn't say that it really burned down the building. So he could have just had a bunch of paper at the corner of a building and set a fire, and then he just charred a corner or maybe a window or two, and he got 2 years for that instead of maybe they felt it didn't warrant the 5 year minimum. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
I, I I feel like that's idealistic optimism. Like, oh, we didn't give him the whole 5 years because he only burned a little bit of the wallpaper over there. So but uh, I mean, we all saw the headlines from Chaz. Okay, like there was nothing being done in moderation in that
Mm,
whole fiasco.
right.
Um, but I am curious as to what he gave the DA to get that plea deal
That's a
because
good
he's
one.
getting less than half of
Yeah.
the minimum.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I'm curious as to what he gave up
It's a good
to get
point.
that.
It's a real good point. Yeah, he probably
Based
snitched or ratted some people out. Yeah.
based on all the other Chop Chaz court cases, I think they probably just told him never to carry matches again.
Yeah, could have
But
been that too. Yeah.
I know there was two. I think there were two. One they actually locked the doors of one of the buildings and started on fire, and I think another one was just they tried to start it on fire and didn't get very far because they came out and extinguished it. So depending which one this is, the point of my concern is if the law is written that it's a mandatory minimum 5 years and you're found guilty, how can they deviate from that?
Well, so
Mm,
I'm with Mike. I am not by any stretch of the imagination a proponent of minimum sentences. I mean, especially if you look at some of the history in the drug cases and the minimum sentences, especially um, in the arena of cocaine and crack cases. I mean, it's completely asinine. But that's not a problem for the district attorney. That's a problem for the legislators. They need to fix that. Um, but as far as what you said, Jim, you are you're setting an extraordinarily bad precedent for yourself. When you say, hey, look, this is the standard we expect, and we're not going to do anything less than this. And then in the next sentence, you go, oh, but, this time, and this time it's okay. So, you're setting yourself up to be questioned when you're finding exceptions every time you turn around.
I just don't know how
January
they
6th
do
is a
it.
good exception.
Yeah, but I just don't know how they do it because, for example,
What's wrong with my
you
birthday?
talk to
What happened on my birthday?
James, you talk about an erection. You talk about
Oh,
you know, like the sentencing, the drug thing, but we already have that in place. It's homicide or it's a lower offense. So if they didn't convict him of the higher offense, they could have charged him with a lower offense. Came in a lesser sentence. They could have pleaded to a lower thing. They do it all the time. So
Yeah,
in
but
this
that
scenario,
would be the story though.
but that's what I'm saying though. In this scenario, they're saying that he was charged and convicted. Well, maybe not. If he plead out, maybe he wasn't convicted, but he'd have to accept a guilty plea for the conviction. So why not just charge him a lower charge and say, okay, well, we'll charge you with this one, and then you plea. Like that's how most plea deals work.
Well, maybe they did do
Well,
that
that,
though, Jim.
but that, yeah, that was the whole
No, then there
tail
wouldn't be a
end.
5 year minimum.
Yeah, but listen,
Like
he
attempted
probably
homicide,
initially, yeah, he was probably charged initially with arson to a government building. Let's just say that's the charge, right?
no, I think
So
it's the
there's
reverse.
a
I think he was charged like with attempted murder because people were in there.
okay,
So he could have pleaded down to arson, which may have had a lesser offense or sentence.
okay, continue. All you doing is speaking my point. Go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, but the fact that it was a 5 year minimum, why wouldn't he
Yeah,
just
but
plead to a
see,
lower offense
well, that's what he
with a lower
did.
minimum?
But the people writing the article is saying, okay, he was charged with arson initially. It's a 5 year minimum that comes with that, hypothetically. Okay,
Hmm.
he pleaded down to having firecrackers on him, and now he gets 2 years. But now the article is saying he still set fire. He still committed the act of arson. There's a 5 year minimum, but he pleaded. He got a plea deal and only doing 2 years.
Okay, so then we're reading this different because I'm under the assumption if he's pleading guilty to arson, which comes with a 5 year minimum.
No,
So
it
that
doesn't
means
even say what the. No, they just saying that he
no,
set fire to a police building.
right, but in your
Right.
scenario, then I would say he plead to negligent arson,
Yeah,
whatever, negligent
exactly.
fire starting, which is 2 year.
Yeah,
Then that would make sense if that's the way you're reading this.
yeah,
But I was reading this as in he pled guilty to arson, but he got off with 2.5 years less,
yeah, and it worked.
which is wrong because he could have
It's
just pled
clickbait.
guilty to negligent fire starting
Yeah, yeah,
for
but
two
it's
and a
like
half years.
it's clickbait. So they do that
All
just
right.
so you keep it out there so
Clickbait.
people can click on it.
Well, we managed to get 10
Ooh, ha,
minutes out
ha.
of a conversation of something that we don't even know what they really mean.
Yeah, exactly. What's
All right,
next?
so let's move to the next one. Penn State plans to reimagine K through 12, says anti-racism will lead the way.
Reimagine. K through 12.
Um, I mean, so in K through 12, I mean that's reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? I mean that's the cornerstone of, at least like K through 6, right? So, like at least the first half of that is just basic human I'm not a dumbass kind of stuff, right? Um, I mean, I feel like anti-racism is just kind of part of the basic I'm not a dumbass stuff.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I don't think I've ever met anyone that I would consider a racist who I didn't also think was a dumbass.
Mm.
So I feel like that just kind of goes hand in hand anyway. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, who can say that you're wrong for that? Well, some people probably would, but I'm trying to understand the reimagine K through 12 says anti-racism will lead the way. Is that like a motto or mantra they're starting?
Yeah, here's the difference. Let me see if this helps you out because there's a difference. Like, I don't have to teach my kids that racism is bad because they know that picking on people, bullying people, judging people, being mean is bad. They know that. That's what I teach them. No matter what, whether he's got one leg, whether he's got a big wart on his nose, or whether he's got a different color skin, that's what I teach my children to be good.
I don't think it's
This
very
is
nice if you're
saying,
making fun of Mike's wart, by the way.
oh, well, that's all right. We've already gotten over that one.
Oh yeah.
But his wart's on his
See
shoulders.
episode 2.
Don't send them that far back.
Yeah, I
Like,
know,
don't
right?
criticize our work. But you get what I'm saying? When you're saying anti-racism, like remember bullying was a big thing? Like stop bullying? Well,
Mhm.
what's like anti-bullying? Like anti means you have to stand against something. And if you don't do it already, you don't have to stand against it. Like if you're not a bully already, you don't have to, march in and say, I'm not a bully, I'm not a bully. That's what they're trying to say is that we need to teach people to be against something they may already be against.
Oh, okay. That's the way you read that?
That's the way I read it. Why do you read
Oh,
it?
okay. I didn't
Well, I
read
can
that right.
read though. How about you?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been to college.
And trichicism, what's that say?
Intric, ant,
It must have been a
antirugger.
state school.
Yeah, it's state funded all the way. Penn State. Since when do Penns have states? Yeah,
States no longer have pens if it's up to you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. We're going to that anyway.
go back to
Wait, I
episode
thought
three
we already
again.
had the conversation about
Go back to
mandatory minimum
episode.
sentences.
So
No,
how do you
no.
read it, Mike?
Well, I don't see a problem with saying anti-racism will lead the way. It's like stop bullying. I think that was a good reference there. Um, I really don't have a problem with that because if you say it's bad or it's just bad, just like bullying is bad, whatever, you're not focused on the issue at hand, which they're talking about racism, just like they're talking about bullying. People know that picking on people for because they appear to be weaker, smaller, whatever, is wrong, but people still did it. So now it was this movement to stop it, to let kids know, hey, when you see this, speak up. That old see something, say something. So I put it in the same category.
Yeah, and I
It's hard to
concur with
prove
that.
though.
Well, I concur with that. If you see something that's wrong, it's wrong. But I guess my point is it's the whole negative angle. Like, why are we not just promoting good things? Instead, we have to have a campaign against bad things, like don't be a
Because
prostitute. Like,
Yeah, but
why
that's
not just
that's
promote
the
good
that's the
good
morals?
thing
cancel
though.
culture at
Yeah.
work again. I
Oh,
mean,
dang, dang. Wow. Cancel culture.
it,
Oof.
it is. I mean, I hate to keep beating the buzzword bandwagon here, but I mean, instead, I mean, because Jim is exactly right. I mean, you shouldn't be being anti bad things. Just be pro good things, and then not being bad things will take care of itself, right? It's the natural byproduct of being pro good things.
Well, think about this, Mike. Let's say you know a real racist, right?
Oh yeah.
Just say you know one, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you think this racist is just a racist? Like that's it? Other than being a racist, he goes around, he's the town happy guy and everybody loves him. He's just a racist. He's probably a jerk off, period. Just
Okay.
all together. Like he's probably a bully, he's probably got a whole bunch of other problems. So what's the point of pointing out one problem?
Name another problem.
I just told you he's probably a bully. He probably
Oh,
mistreats women. He probably doesn't respect authority. He's probably a lot. He's probably got a
mistreats women.
collection of these
Okay. You
problems.
have the Me Too movement, bully. You have the Stop Bullying movement.
Which is my point. So let's
Yeah.
let's do 30 anti components, or let's just do one good pro component. Love your neighbor, respect others.
That's already been
Okay.
out there. How's that working for us?
Well, how's the other one working?
I don't know.
We haven't put it
Depends
in
on
K
who
through
you
12
ask.
yet.
It depends on who you ask, because some people say that the Me Too
I mean,
movement is working.
I haven't seen a hashtag golden rule movement in my lifetime. Treat
Hashtag
people the
what?
way you want to be treated. Hashtag
Golden
golden
rule.
rule.
Golden rule. Okay.
Treat people as you want to be treated.
Right.
I mean,
That's
I
because
think
that's
that
racist.
why?
Gold. Like, where did we get gold from? Who dug up gold? Slaves, right?
Mm,
Damn.
Jim,
Boy,
What? What?
talk about a stretch. I wish you could do like your arm and stretch. Boy, you stretched that one, didn't
I was
you?
trying just to prove a point. But
Yeah.
they'll turn anything into a. You must
there's
be a
something
racist
wrong
if
with
you
this
believe in
guy.
gold.
Yeah.
All right. Any alibis? Or you want to move on?
But no, I don't see a problem with it. It's just another movement, campaign, whatever we want to call it. So,
I
like
mean,
you said,
I
love thy
think.
neighbor, but that's already out there.
Well, I think the problem with what I've heard, and I kind of understand the argument, is that these kids are not racist. By teaching them about racial differences, you're creating a racist concept.
Or maybe they're
That's what I
just
heard.
teaching them how to be able to observe or assess a situation. You
Yeah,
know,
like colors, crayons inside the line. Yeah, they do it all the time.
yeah, I'm
That's my
just
point.
saying
That's
that
promoting good
they might
things.
look at something as being as simple as, "Hey, this person's bad," like you just spoke on earlier. But now they could, look at it a little bit deeper and say, "Well, maybe that is racist."
Well,
Maybe
so
he
I
or she
feel
is racist, and that's I'm not gonna say even more wrong. It's just wrong. You know, they can see it's more elements to it, if you will. Sometimes it's not just so simple as, hey, this person's bad. It's something deeper. Hey, yeah, why is it that Jim talks to this person differently than he talks to the next person? Why is it that Mike does this, but he doesn't do? You know, I don't know. I
Jim
just don't
always
see a
talks mean
problem
to
with it.
me.
It's
I've
just
been
like the
questioning
bullying
that
thing, man. I
forever.
didn't see a problem with it.
All right.
Yeah, that's just me.
The darkest skin gets the last word
Oh, I don't know why.
because we're talking about race. I'm not allowed to take the last word.
I don't know. I don't know who's banning you from that.
Canceled. Ching.
Ah,
All right. All right. We ready? Let's
I
move to
hope
the
I'm
next
far
one.
enough away when the meteorite hits Jim.
Ah, it would have been hit us a lot of episodes ago.
Telling
All right.
you.
Ready? Marine who spoke out against Biden on Afghanistan released from the brig after his anti-Trump comments surface.
Oh, he was human. Ooh. He's one of us now. Ah. Oh, so when he spoke out against the left, hey, wait a minute. So it probably was a case of they put him in the brig and he said,
Libertarianism?
"What? What did I do? You know, what did I do? Hey, I spoke out against Trump. Hey, check my Facebook or something like that." And then they looked and they said, "Oh, better let him out. He's an equal offender or something like that." What do you think about that, Steve? Excuse me, not Steve.
I mean, I'm just wondering at one point anybody says, I don't know, maybe First Amendment. I mean, is that not the whole reason why the First Amendment exists, so that we can speak out against
No,
things
no,
that we don't agree with in the government?
no. Now when you're in the
Well,
military.
we're not talking about him specifically because he does fall under slightly different rules being in the military and uniform and all that. But as a regular, yes.
I agree, but I mean, I was
We're
talking
all
mad
waiting for
shit
the
about
butt.
Bush when I was in uniform. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah, but you
mean,
didn't post it on TikTok.
well, that's because TikTok didn't exist. I'm old as fuck.
Well, right. And if you did, there'd be a lot of us in trouble.
Yeah, but no matter what the platform was back then, whether it's a newspaper or magazine or whatever, you didn't do it. You know, you probably just said it in like a forum like this, or internet probably wasn't out like that back then either. But you get the point. It
Okay,
was
I'm
just
not
some
that old.
guys sitting
Okay,
around
pump the brakes a
talking.
little bit.
Say what?
I said I'm not quite that old, man. All right, pump the
No,
brakes
I'm
a little
just
bit.
saying, like if you're
We
sitting
still
around
we
in a
still got
bar
it.
with guys
I'm talking
like
about
this,
Bush
and
Junior, man, not Bush Senior.
oh, okay, my bad. But if you're sitting in a bar with guys like we are now in this type of context, let's keep it here, then that's fine. But when you just put it out there for everyone to see, your command and everyone, then that becomes an issue. You're not supposed to do that.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm still hairy on the idea of. I mean, because it's not like he was out there making these statements in an official military capacity, right? This was a guy in his downtime, you know.
No such thing. No such thing.
Yeah, and I tell you, if he wasn't in uniform, I'd probably give him a little more slack. But being in uniform, that's just not professional. Period. You know, we all
Yeah,
know when you put on
yeah,
that uniform, you got
yes,
to
I
carry
completely
yourself at
agree
a
with
different
that
level.
aspect of it. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, to be jailed though, I
Well,
mean,
we talked about this on a previous episode that we thought putting in the brig was a little excessive. And my question is this: the optics. They have to be aware of the optics. Maybe they don't care. Maybe it's different. But first of all, after it hit the news, they're aware it hit the news, obviously. So putting him in the brig, they knew was going to make the news, and now letting him out after the Trump comments are found, you know, there's optics here. So either there's an angle or it's a great coincidence.
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I just have a totally different perspective here. You're in uniform. You did something wrong. Deal with it.
Yeah, we've already agreed on
Yeah,
that. We
it's
already
like
passed that step.
I don't I don't care about that uniform, not uniform, all of that. And I think it's different now because we're all out of the military. But uh, I'm sorry, I just no.
Well, let me help you out here. What if Penn State plans to reimagine K through 12, says anti-Trump will lead the way?
Trump. Why? You already did that, and it worked. He's not in office.
All right. Well, since we're talking about kids and presidents, the next one, loudest F Joe Biden chant yet breaks out at Titans Jets game.
How did I
Have you
miss
guys seen
that?
these videos?
Mm-mm.
No.
The funniest one was the NASCAR one with the reporter, and you could clearly hear they're in the back saying "F Joe Biden," and the lady's like, "Oh, they're saying something Gordon, I think is his name, or something, or Randall, I don't know."
F. Jeff Gordon.
No, they were saying go something. She turned it into something promoting him,
Oh.
and he like everybody's just like that's not what they're saying. But think of the
Oh,
magnitude of that. Like, is this a fad, or do people really, don't like this guy? I mean, he's the most popular president ever. He got the most votes in the history of our elections. How can all of these stadiums and all these people be chanting this? Is it a fad?
I would like to
they don't like
interject
him.
here, please.
He's
Um,
very.
so,
I think he had the most votes against him as well.
so that's what I was going to say. I don't know that a lot of the people who voted that way in this past election were necessarily voting for the challenger as much as they were voting against the incumbent.
Doesn't matter. They
Um,
voted for him.
oh yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree.
So if they are in
But
that crowd screaming, they're what, hypocrites?
no,
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
I
no.
mean, look. Funny is funny. Okay, I don't care who you voted for. Okay, if I was in a crowd of 80,000 people chanting, you know, "fuck Jimbotron," I would join in on that just because it's funny, right? It doesn't
Right,
matter
right,
if I agree
right.
with it or
What's
not.
so funny about
Uh,
that?
I mean, I think Mike would join in on me if we
I will
started
lead
that
it.
chant,
That's
right?
racist. That's racist. Now I'm definitely for the Penn State plan.
Uh, well,
Uh,
I mean, I just, you know, I don't think that there are as many proponents for Joe Biden in this country as people would think, even given the election results, because it seems like for decades, some would argue, the vast majority of our elections have been, picking between the lesser of two evils, and I'm sure our libertarian friend here would agree with that. So, a lot of people think that, voting third party is wasting your vote. Not that I agree with that, but, they voted for him as, not as a proponent of him, but as an opponent of the other guy. So, just because you hated the other guy more doesn't mean that you don't hate this guy too.
and I agree with you 100%. Or it could be a case of, hey, I voted for this guy. Look what the hell he's doing now.
Well,
F
yeah, I
Joe
mean, he is a
Biden.
dumbass. I mean,
you know,
I'm
it
not
could be
trying to end
just
up on a
that.
watch list or anything, but the guy is a dumbass, right? So,
But no,
I mean,
no,
like,
no. We're just repeating what the chants were,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But my whole thing is, it could be a case of people
We do
just
not
not
endorse or
liking what they
sponsor any of
see.
the statements that James says.
You
I
know,
almost said your last name and
who's
address.
who's James?
yeah.
Not Steve.
I'm definitely not Steve.
But nah, it could be a case of people who voted and they really watching what the president's doing and they don't like it. Now they're just speaking out against it instead of
You
just
don't think
toting that party line.
you don't think a percent of this is just a fad?
It could be. We don't know. You
Yeah.
know. But for me, it doesn't bother me one bit.
No,
But
and actually
it
it
does
flows.
it does
So
display some hypocrisy in some of those people though. It could be the majority
Wait,
of
wait,
them
wait,
could
wait,
be
wait,
from the
wait, wait.
right. And when you have some athletes who get on the field and they talk about, or they have a stance against some social issues, people say, "Hey, we don't come here for that. Just play the
Wait a sec.
game."
Wait a sec. Wait a sec. Is
Just
this
play the
just the
game
same
is what
guy
they
who
say.
was saying that you can't say what you want to say when you're wearing a uniform?
Say what?
These people weren't you just saying a couple of minutes ago that you're not supposed to say what you think when you're in a uniform?
Talking about the military? Really?
Well, I mean, you just said, okay, I mean, you're comparing fans in a stadium against the people who are being paid to work there, right? So, I mean, if we're going to make that leap, then I don't see any reason why you can't make the leap to somebody making statements in their employer's uniform that aren't necessarily endorsed by their employer, like you
Well,
just made a minute ago. I mean, I
Well,
yeah,
the
don't.
but
distinction, though,
no. Hold on. First and foremost, you can take the leap any way you want. Okay.
that's what this show's about.
what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is this: you have some people, and I'm just going to use the example of LeBron or Colin Kaepernick or whatever. They might wear a T-shirt, they might take a knee, and people say, "Hey, we don't come here for those social issues. Sports is supposed to be entertaining, and nothing political, none of that stuff, right?" But now some of these same people in the stands chanting "F Joe Biden." Why are you bringing political issues to a game? You know what I mean? Joe Biden's
That's why
not
I asked
there.
if it was a fad.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't.
I
Yeah,
asked if it
but
was a fad because maybe one
it's
chant started
hypocrisy,
at
is
a
what it
game and
is.
now, yeah,
That's why I
I don't
say
even.
it's all cool. Like, I'm not gonna say anyone here, but if I was a right winger, I would support what they're doing, right? But when somebody else is on the left or has a different issue that they're trying to promote or take a stance against, and I'm
Mhm.
not for that. Hey, just come here. I come here for the entertainment of the sports athletes or whoever. They don't need to bring that to the game. It's American politics at its best, man.
It
Yeah,
absolutely is.
I think it's a stadium full of young kids who probably didn't even vote, and now it's become a thing.
Well,
That's just my
obviously,
opinion.
Yeah,
every
and these
young
same
kid
kids are
voted, or
probably
they wouldn't
against
have had
athletes
record-breaking
when they speak
numbers,
out against
Jim.
something.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah,
It's the Tic Tac world we live in. Next year they'll be doing a Tide Pod challenge or something.
I was gonna say something, but I can't.
All right, let's move on. Colorado hospital denies woman kidney transplant because she and her donor are unvaccinated.
Has to be more to it. Has to be more to that.
Yeah, I agree. On the surface, that sounds insane.
Yeah, that's a clickbait headline.
Yeah, it has to
Well,
be. I don't know. It's like if something happened, we're in a bar fight, we're injured, unconscious. We go to the hospital and they find out we're unvaccinated. They're not going to treat us. No,
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait,
believe
wait, wait. What do you mean we're unvaccinated? Speak for
it. Hmm?
yourself there, unvaccinated.
It was a hypothetical there, not Steve.
yeah, it was a hypothetical, and until I get my yellow star and my train ticket, I can be who I want to be.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
I've
yeah,
got
I
my
don't,
papers, Mr. Gestapo, okay?
yeah, I don't agree with that one.
And
I don't
it could have
believe
been
that
a
one.
scenario where this hospital doesn't do that because we're a COVID converted hospital or something, and they just twisted it. Yeah, I don't know,
Do you
but it is
think? I mean,
Colorado.
Colorado. You used to live there, right? You think?
Yeah, that's where all the Californians invaded, which is why I can't go back.
Mm,
So it wouldn't surprise me now. I'll say
okay.
that.
Oh,
If it
It's an
was
official
real,
colony of California.
yes, which are happening all over now. So, all right, you
mm,
ready for next one?
yeah.
The government has been secretly ordering Google to track anyone making certain searches.
That's not news.
Yeah, that's uh,
They've been doing that since they've been doing that
Okay,
yeah.
since the
Since then,
passing of the Patriot
yeah,
Act.
I'm
I'm
let's ask
serious.
let's
yeah.
add
That's
That
not
something
that
to
stuff
news.
is
this.
so old, man.
Let's add something
Yeah.
to it
Yeah,
that
like
they
why is
now
this even a
admitted
headline
it.
in
They
2021?
admitted it because they actually
Oh, okay.
admitted to it.
Okay, but they've been admitting to it. They just don't. I mean, there are zero fucks to give from our government. They're just like, what? Do something. I mean,
Yeah, in
I
a
mean, we've
nutshell.
already know. I mean, I mean, think about it. I mean, that's why it was such a huge deal a few years ago when Apple refused to open up that phone for them
Yeah,
because they're just so used to getting everything they want. You know, they go to these telecom people, they go to these tech companies, and they're like, open up everything you've got, and they just fucking hand it to them.
yeah,
I
yep,
mean, so honestly, I think it would be a more newsworthy headline if Google said, "Nope, fuck you" to the government. That would be a headline.
yeah,
It
yeah,
it also doesn't surprise me that we like go on places like Facebook and give all this information away. like,
Oh,
and
but
you're
my
worried
page
about
is
Google?
private, Jim. My page is private. It's all good.
Oh, right, right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And what have you not heard of private browsers? Even though they still,
It's the internet, man. It's
yeah,
all
Wait,
a
we just
wait,
need
game.
wait, wait. This
we need a
this is where we do
VPN
that
sponsor.
plug for
So
DuckDuckGo.
there you go. That's what I said. We need a DuckDuckGo. We need a VPN sponsor here. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, but
Awesome.
you said they just admitted to it. It's like, yeah, okay, they've been doing it for well over 20 years now, just like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
everything
don't
else,
know. I don't
you
know if they
know.
did, Mike. I just made that part up just to spice up
Oh,
that
okay, you
comment.
just wanted to throw a little. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Let's keep it where we were, not Steve. Yeah,
right. Because,
I
like I
mean,
said,
I'm
I
sure
didn't read
there's
this
somebody at
article.
the NSA looking at my browser history, going, "God, that is a sick bastard." You know?
Right. Plus, all those
something
companies
tells
now
me
sending you flyers.
I disagree with that. There's
You don't
probably
think they have any
millions of
interest?
worse people out there.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's some
yeah.
real. I mean,
I mean, I just watch, the girl on girl stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's some guys out there
hey
watching,
Jim,
like
what's that next topic?
um,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
know. I
ducks
don't
and
know, but
sheep
that
and
explains the
shit.
dresses in the background.
Yeah, what's that next topic? Oh man,
The next
somebody
one's our
call.
last one. Um,
Hey, look, if you were recording on Thursday night, I'd be wearing one of those dresses. I only wear them on Thursdays, though.
our last topic:
It's like Jim Clinton.
Florida woman wins the lottery twice in one day, winning $2 million per ticket.
Wow,
Is she
wow.
single? That's what I want to know. Is she single?
For $4 million, dude.
Yeah.
All right, man. I don't know. Four
I'm.
million. I got higher standards than that.
Yeah, same here.
Uh, yeah.
Why are y'all acting like the Air Force right now? I don't.
Just saying. But
Expedia.com. Book
but
ticket
how
to
you win?
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to find out who this is, and
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner.
if you are
Oh
single,
God.
you know where to hit us up.
That's right.
PullThePinReady.com. You can.
He said, Kate. Oh my God. I can't. Saying Caitlyn, saying her, she is like saying vaccinated to me. No.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
don't even know where
just
this is going, but
compare?
$2 million lottery tickets, 2 tickets, guys, 2 tickets.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going with this, but lady won 2 tickets worth $2 million each.
Yeah. Could not
Yeah,
have
and
been that
the
Jenner.
next prize she could
Didn't.
win could be me.
Not if the NSA has anything to do with it.
Oh, right. And just imagine the taxes that will come out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only about
We're gonna
50%.
we're gonna take a couple teeth, a leg, all your hair,
Uh,
I
your
mean,
genitals,
one
whichever
ticket-
set you got,
or both.
Yeah.
It's
or both,
2021.
right?
We're not here to judge,
Yeah.
okay?
All right, I think that is a good place to end this one. So thank you, not Steve, for joining us. Thank you guys out there for tuning in and having a good time with us. If you're a veteran, get involved. Come on the show. PullThePinReady.com is where you can reach us. And as Mike is waiting for my outro, until then, Godspeed.
Later. I had to do something. And pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.